Even though school has ended for the students of Nevermore Academy, fans of Netflix's hit Wednesday are eagerly waiting for the start of the next semester in Jericho. Ortega is not the only person who has grown to appreciate Wednesday's teenage portrayal of the only daughter of the Addams family. Twice, the show surpassed Netflix's record for the number of hours watched in a single week. It generated 341.23 million hours of viewing in the first week and 411.29 million hours in the second. Yeah, it's that good. As Wednesday rebels against her parents and is sent to the Nevermore Academy in Vermont for freaks, outcasts, and monsters, the first season of Wednesday is a delightful, wonderful, and fantastical and frequently dark tale. She becomes involved in a grisly murder investigation involving the local students and various ghouls and monsters including Hyde's werewolves and others while she's there. In the end, Wednesday finds the killer, heals her relationship with her parents, and learns how to be a friend, but she never loses sight for her morbid nature. With the announcement that Netflix has ordered a second season for Wednesday, more questions have arisen. The unstoppable child of woe has thus far been pursued, haunted dangerously close to death, and subjected to torture, all of which he undoubtedly enjoyed, but which were distressing for us. And with her story about to pick up where it left off, the star Gough at Nevermore Academy appears to be moving forward. But what will happen next?
My very first stalker. Maybe this forced vacation will be more interesting than I imagined.
Who will and who won't be going back? Netflix was expected to renew Wednesday Season 2 early in the new year, and it did. On January 6th, Netflix announced the show's renewal for its second season with a teaser clip of Wednesday Addams typing away on her typewriter. A few hours later, the company confirmed in a video that the worldwide phenomenon would return for Season 2 and promised more torture ahead. As for when it could arrive, we'll probably have to wait more than a year before Season 2 is released. Season 1 was shot in Romania between September 2021 and March 2022, and it debuted on streaming services in November 2022. Now, if the second season follows the same production schedule as the first, we assume that filming and post-production would take at least an additional 12 to 14 months. This would place the second season's release sometime in the middle of 2024. Yes, the wait will be quite long, but that's okay, we can deal with that. There were a lot of talks about where Wednesday Season 2 might air as a result of Amazon's merger with MGM, the production company that creates Wednesday for Netflix. There have been rumors in the industry that the second installment may not air on Netflix, but rather on Prime Video. But as we stated at that time, that was nonsense. Before we go any further, we wanted to let you know that it's time for you to smash that like button if you haven't done it already. Wednesday has a large cast full of characters we already know and love. Since the majority of them survived Season 1, it's likely that Jenna Ortega, Emma Myers, Percy Hines-White, Joy Sunday, and Jamie McShane will all return for the second season. Additionally, the rest of the Addams family will probably appear more frequently. Both Hunter Doohan's Tyler and Christina Ricci's Miss Thornhill, the first season's antagonists who were captured in the season finale, have a chance of making a comeback. Since she's currently in custody, Miss Thornhill might make a brief appearance from the cell. Since Tyler is part of the central love triangle and his final scene hints at a potential escape, his return is more obvious. Fortunately for fans, co-showrunners Miles Millar and Alfred Gough aren't making his return a prolonged mystery. Principal Weems' current state of death is pretty solidly established by the showrunners, but there's a chance that they could find a way to bring her back since the season finale did feature a resurrection. In an interview, Gwendoline Christie discusses the death of her character and points out that Weems was not shown being buried. I feel like Clarissa Weems would not really be prepared to entertain or be dominated by anything as commonplace as death.
School has a relationship with a therapist in Jericho. She can meet twice a week.
Did you hear that, my little storm cloud?
She said. Even though Thornhill poisoned Weems before she was seen last dying, it's possible that the person in the picture actually isn't Weems. Shortly after it's discovered that the shapeshifter was impersonating Tyler as part of a scheme between herself and Wednesday to persuade Thornhill to confess to her crimes, Weems is killed. However, for the rest of the episode, neither the body of Principal Weems nor any references to it are made. Weems might not have been the only shapeshifter at Nevermore Academy, where outcasts with similar skills frequently gathered. It's possible that Weems had this other shapeshifter pretend to be her while the real Weems watched from a distance, because she knew how dangerous it would be to confront Thornhill directly. This could explain why Thornhill seemed to have no trouble killing Weems after she disclosed herself. The identities of the other villains in Wednesday Season 2 are unknown as of yet, but one theory is that some of the conflicts will center on the Morning Sun cult. Bianca's mother and stepfather are in charge of the Morning Song organization, which is actually a cult of sirens disguising itself as a self-help group and using its abilities to brainwash people into giving it all of their money. Although Morning Song hasn't physically appeared on Wednesday, it would make sense for them to appear in Season 2. After all, they've been established as an oppositional force for Wednesday's Bianca Barclay, a Season 1 plotline that hasn't been resolved, and Morning Song's involvement in Wednesday Season 2 makes sense together. When Bianca's mother, Gabrielle, made an appearance in Season 1, she threatened to reveal that Bianca had used her siren song to enter Nevermore if she didn't return home by the end of the year to help her keep Morning Song afloat. Since that storyline wasn't finished by the end of the season, it would make sense for it to be continued in Wednesday Season 2, especially since it would allow for Bianca's character to continue growing. Another popular theory for what might occur in Wednesday Season 2 is that Percy Hines White's Xavier will be revealed to be Hyde. Throughout Season 1, Xavier had frequent dreams about Hyde, but the reason for this was never made clear beyond a hazy connection to his psychic abilities. However, if Xavier is a Hyde, then it would make sense that Tyler's actions might have caused his dreams to be an unconscious expression of his other half. The idea is supported by the description of Hyde as an artist by nature, and having Xavier deal with that might help him in his ongoing battle to gain the trust of others. Additionally, the plotline involving Xavier's father, Vincent Thorpe, could be connected by the fact that he's a Hyde. To protect his reputation, Vincent has been described as an image-obsessed man who wanted to keep Xavier's issues under wraps. This may be because Vincent didn't want people to know that Xavier was Hyde. That could also be used to endear Vincent to the audience because it's possible that Vincent wanted to keep his Hyde identity a secret to protect Xavier. It wouldn't be inappropriate for the show to take that turn because it could be a simple way to incorporate Vincent into Season 2. It wouldn't be impossible for Laurel Gates and Tyler Galpin to make a comeback in Wednesday Season 2 given that Season 1 ended without either of them passing away. Breaking out of jail and either joining forces with Wednesday's stalker or turning into a standalone antagonist would give Tyler an easy way to participate in Season 2. Laurel Gates might also be working with Wednesday's stalker, but another perspective is for her to remain in jail and give Wednesday guidance as she solves the mystery from Season 2. And because of this, you need to smash that subscribe button and notification bell so you'll never miss any of our videos in the future.
Please don't make this more difficult than it already is, Marilyn.
My name is Laurel!
If so, Laurel would resemble a Hannibal Lecter-like character in Season 2, which would be completely in line with Wednesday's tone. After the events of Season 1, there would undoubtedly be a conflict between them, but that could give their relationship a new dimension and make their dynamic even more compelling to watch. See you in the next video.